I just got done doing a push-up workout. I'm all sweaty, I feel amazing, and today I'm going to tell you guys about how to get started in high volume calisthenics. But first we got to answer the question, why would you want to do high volume calisthenics? Why not just do harder variations? Because look at me, I just did cardio. I got a huge pump. The whole thing took only 30 minutes. That's why. So, a few common pitfalls when getting started in high volume calisthenics. Doing too much too soon. This is a big trap. This is something that I fell into. What do I mean? I saw guys on the internet saying, do 500 push-ups every day. And I thought, hey, I've been training in the gym 5 years. I'm pretty strong. I'm going to start doing 500 push-ups. Of course I can do it, but then I was extremely sore. And this effort just wasn't sustainable. It wasn't repeatable. So, error number one. Don't do too much too soon. This is less of a problem for newer guys who don't really have much experience with training, because you're simply not strong enough to do it. But if you've been training for a long time in the gym, you're doing sports, you already have a decent strength base, then it is a problem. You have to really pace yourself. I think the best way to pace yourself is to set a time limit for your workout. Don't split your workout throughout the day. Don't do push-ups here and there. You set aside 40 minutes, 30 minutes, and that's your allotted training time. You can do this once a day. You don't do multiple sessions a day. A lot of guys think that high volume calisthenics means you do 10 sets of push-ups 1 hour apart. This is called greasing the groove. It is good for improving your strength and getting better at movements. But if you're like me and you want to do calisthenics in order to build some muscle to look good naked, don't do that. Greasing the groove is a completely different method for different reasons. We need to borrow from what people do in the gym, and that's training for an allotted time and then recovering for the rest of the day. So for me, my ideal workout is between 45 minutes to about an hour. Sometimes if I have more time, I'll train for an hour and a half, but that doesn't happen too often. When I was getting started, I can do a 20-minute workout, and that would be enough. So for those transitioning from the gym to calisthenics, especially things like high volume push-ups, high volume pull-ups, high volume dips, don't do too much too soon. Even if you start by doing 100 push-ups 5 days a week, it sounds like nothing. It's going to feel very easy. You might be able to do this 100 push-ups in like 10 minutes, but give it some time. Think about it. If you could squat 500 pounds, it took you maybe like 5 years to get there, maybe a decade. That's elite strength. Now, somebody can come in and do 500 push-ups on their first workout. It might take them 3 hours, but it's the same thing. You don't have a noob coming into the gym squatting 500 pounds. You should approach your push-ups the same way. You need to build up these volumes. A lot of times you hear guys talking about shoulder injuries, rotator cuff issues. The whole thing is they're doing too much too soon. They're listening to influencers who say, do push-ups every day. No days off, man, no days off. This is a terrible idea. You have to listen to your body. The thing with calisthenics, it's better not to follow any programs. It's better to listen to how you feel. So let's say you did your 100 push-ups, you don't feel much. Do 100 push-ups day 2. You feel a little bit the next day. Do it day 3. Bam, you wake up on day 4 and you're sore. Maybe you feel a little bit of something in your shoulders. Listen to your body. Forget programs. It's time to take a few days off. And the more you train, the more your ligaments, the more your joints, your tendons, they can handle. They're just like your muscles. They adapt to stress. So the more push-ups, the more frequent, over time, you build the capacity to do more and more work. So this is the number one takeaway from this video. Start slow. Don't do too much, even if it feels too easy. Think about this as a long-term thing. I know you want to do 500 push-ups a day right now, but you don't need to, and you don't want to. Because if you do that, you'll be out of the game within a few weeks. And we're here to be doing this for years to come. You want to be doing push-ups for the next 20 years. That way you look like you're carved out of stone. You don't want to do push-ups for 2 weeks and then come in and say, oh man, high volume calisthenics injured my shoulders. It's not good. I got to do low volume. I have to go to the gym. Listen, bro, you just did too much too soon. That's it. If you did 100, few days off. 100, few days off. until you build up to 100 5 days a week. You do that for a month or two. Then you go to 200. You do 200 that first time, you're going to be insanely sore. Skip a day. Then you do 200 2 days in a row. Same thing, it's a long process until you can do 1,000 5 days a week. There are guys that can do that. I can't. I mean, I could probably do 1,000 in one go, but then I'm going to be sore for a week straight. So why would I want to do that? I'm just going to do, right now I'm at 500. So I do 500 once a week. That's how I started. Now I'm doing 500 2-3 times a week. Slowly I'll build up to 500 5 days a week. Then I'll work on reducing the time that it takes to do this 500. Now I'm doing it about 30 minutes. Over time I'd like to do 520 minutes. So there are so many different ways to challenge yourself. You pick a number, you work on getting it. Once you get this number, you do it more and more times a week while still ensuring some days off. And then once you get that 5 days a week, then you do it faster and faster and faster. There's so many ways to progress. It's so much fun. There's so much variety of different exercises that you can do. While I like to categorize the exercises into groups, you got pull-ups. But when I say pull-ups, I'm talking about chin-ups, rows, neutral grip, wide grip. It's one umbrella, pull-ups. They work your biceps, your abs, your lats. There are even some pull-up variations like close grip chins. They actually work your chest too. I've done 250 chins before and my chest was sore the next day. So it definitely does something there as well. Then you got push-ups. We're talking about push-ups on the floor. You can do regular push-ups, you can do wide grip push-ups, you can do diamonds or narrow grip push-ups. Then you can do push-ups off of different implements. Let's say I got a tire here. You can do push-ups off the tire. I could put my feet up on something. I can do all kinds of push-ups. And all the different push-ups, they hit the muscle groups slightly differently. Keeps things interesting. Then we have the dips group. Now you could group these together with push-ups, but there are different ways to do dips as well. You can find some wider bars that will hit a little bit more shoulders. You can get some narrower bars that will hit more triceps, but all of them hit your chest. For me and other people that I know, we feel quite a bit of upper back from doing dips as well, especially if you do some holds between your reps at the top. So 3 exercises: pull-ups, push-ups, dips. Basically your entire upper body gets worked. Now for legs, you can do squats, you can do lunges, you can do good mornings. But if you don't want to, you don't have to. A lot of great men have lived who haven't trained legs. You think Winston Churchill trained legs? I don't think so. So it's completely your choice. Remember, calisthenics is where you do you. If you don't want to train legs, don't train legs. But if your upper body is getting huge and your legs look tiny, you should definitely train some legs. Doing a lot of squats in a short amount of time will blow up your legs. But you can also do things like go running uphill, do jumps, get creative with it, do something that you like, do something that's fun. Now if you're doing all these things and you're really putting an effort into it and your legs are still not growing, there's nothing wrong with going to the gym and doing some good old barbell squats. Barbell squats, especially higher volume, will blow up your legs like nothing else. So if you want to train legs, do it. If you don't want to train legs, then forget what everybody says. You do you. Don't listen to all the haters. You want to have a jacked upper body. You want to have small legs. I call it the Y frame. Big upper body, small legs. This is like a male model look. Do it. Why not? Forget about everybody. But the main focus of my channel is more upper body. I do have leg size from doing squats for years. I like to ride road bikes, especially up the mountain, so that gives me some leg size as well. Once in a while, I throw in some leg workouts. My girlfriend, who's behind the camera right now, she's way better than me at training legs with calisthenics. The way she approaches it, she mostly trains upper body, and then when her legs start to get small, she'll do like a month of leg training, and immediately her legs and her butt just blow up. And then she'll go back to training upper body. So really, it's up to you. For some people, legs blow up really fast. You don't really have to train that much. For other people, you have to train legs all the time, otherwise you have chicken legs. So really listen to your body, do what you want in regards to your legs. So let's summarize what we talked about so far. There's like stuff flying around. I'm in a shed. Show them the shed. I'm filming in the shed because it's very sunny and it's really hot outside. But let's do a quick summary. When you start getting into calisthenics, do not do too much. Start very slow. If you're a complete beginner who's never trained before, but you still have some basic level of strength, that means you're not overweight. Do 50 push-ups, 25 pull-ups. Sounds very easy, but you do it a few days in a row until you get sore. Then take some time off. When you stop being sore, do it again. If you're coming from a gym background, that means that you've been benching, you've been doing overhead presses, maybe some weighted pull-ups. This is, I think, the most dangerous group to start calisthenics because you have the strength base, but your tendons are not ready for the high volume. So you really need to put the brakes and think about this as a long-term commitment. Start by doing 100, 100, 100. Do a month of 100 push-ups every workout and maybe 50 pull-ups. Not every day, I said every workout with days off. And then after that, jump to 200. Do 200 for a few months. Then 300. Take your time, even if it takes you a year to build up to 500 a day. It's better to take this year and then be able to do 500 a day without any shoulder issues than it is to jump into 500 and then quit in 3 weeks because you're in Snap City. Now, I want to talk a little bit about warming up as well. I am 37, and for the majority of my lifting career, I didn't believe in warming up. Now, when you're training in the gym, you're training with barbells, you're always starting with an empty bar. So you can do quite a few sets with an empty bar, and technically that's the warm-up. So I took the same approach when I came over to calisthenics, and I thought I'll just do my first sets further away from failure. And I did that. It works, but when you start doing higher volume, those first few sets, everything would be cricking and cracking. I would hear popping. So I thought, okay, maybe this is not a good idea. I'm getting a little bit older. So my warm-up routine now is to do static stretches. So I'm training my upper body. I will stretch around my shoulder joint for 30 seconds in every direction. So for example, I'll do a doorway stretch for my pecs, maybe from the bottom as well. Then I'll do some stretches like this. I'll put my arm behind my back. Maybe I'll grab onto like a window and stretch my shoulders. Maybe pull on something. I just try to stretch for maybe 2 minutes, 2 to 5 minutes, 30 seconds on each stretch, on each side. I do this to start my workout, and I do it at the end of the workout as a cool down. And since I've started doing this, I haven't had any issues whatsoever with any pain, any injuries. My body moves and feels amazing. So I definitely recommend doing some stretches before and after your workout. It's very, very important. Some people like to do resistance bands to warm up. If it works for you, do it. I tried it myself and I didn't see any benefit from it, so I don't do it. I also tried warming up with dynamic stretches. Again, a lot of people say that it works. If it works for you, do it. For me, I didn't notice any benefits. So through trial and error, I discovered that classic, old school, static stretches is what works for me. My advice for you, try different warm-up styles, see what works for you, see what gets you into a warmed up state where you could start doing your exercises and your body is not popping and clicking and making all kinds of noise. If you get into your push-ups and your first set feels good, you feel like everything is lubricated, that's when you know you're warmed up. That's how it works. So, high volume calisthenics, it means doing a lot of work in a short amount of time. You get to build your cardio capacity, your work capacity, you burn a lot of fat. That means you can eat how you want, and you get to build some muscle. Thank you for joining me today. If you guys have any questions, leave a comment below. Take it easy. Peace.